Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New England Patriots. So, starting off with their home states, the reason why I gave the Patriots to the Republican Party is because I think that they're pretty much more conservative than the Eagles. But we'll start off in the Northeast. New England. I think that all of New England would go to the Patriots for obvious reasons. As for the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, you could probably imply where they're from. And I think the states around them, like New Jersey, would go to them. Delaware, knowing my home state of Maryland, I think that would go to the Eagles. Same thing down in the District of Columbia. I think the Eagles could carry D.C. based off their appeal to African-American voters more than just Tom Brady as a spokesperson from the Patriots, which I think could bring out more white voters and bring out a number of Democratic white voters. However, I think the Eagles could spike African-American turnout, so we're going to see how this takes an effect. As for New York, I think that New York is close enough to the Northeast to give their electoral votes to the Patriots, so yeah. And we're going to go through the rest of the map. So, up in North Dakota, the Patriots are most definitely supported in North Dakota based off what we've seen in geotagging on Twitter. Therefore, the Patriots would win in North Dakota. And since South Dakota has the same name, I would assume that it would go to the Patriots as well. Going across the Rust Belt, however, I think the Eagles, definitely coming from the Rust Belt, have more an appeal to Rust Belt voters, and therefore would win across the Rust Belt. However, I think that the Patriots definitely play with the patriotic image of the Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Iowan voters enough to win their electoral votes. However, when we get to the Deep South, although they are very patriotic here, an eagle soars across down here, so therefore I would give a state like Mississippi and Alabama to the Eagles, and I would give West Virginia to the Patriots just based off the patriotic feeling we have in the South. Going over to Montana, I mean, although North Dakota has the general Native American population, Montana does have some areas that were used by Native Americans before. An eagle was one of the most prominent images used back then. Therefore, I think that the Eagles would be able to win Montana. Going over to Idaho, I mean, it looks like a gun, so I would give that one to the Eagles. And then we're going to a state like Wyoming. It's pretty square. I mean, if you look at the shape of Pennsylvania versus New England, I would give that one to the Eagles. However, down in Nebraska, I think their electoral votes would go to the Patriots because I think that coming from the Midwest, you have a lot of patriotic feeling around here compared to where you would see it in the urban cities, and I think that the Patriots would be able to win in Nebraska. Same thing in Kansas, flat as a pancake. So I think the Patriots would be able to win there. Going down to Texas, I think the Eagles would have a chance at winning Texas. Also included with the Mexican flag, there is an eagle on it, and therefore I think that Texas being former state from California, same thing with former state from Mexico, same thing with California, I think these two states would go to the Philadelphia Eagles. As for Washington and Oregon, very progressive states. The Patriots both, and progressive and Patriot both start with a P. Therefore, I give them Washington and Oregon's electoral votes. Going down to Virginia, another state I would see going to the Patriots, again with the patriotic feeling they have across the country. And considering that not many Eagles stood actually kneeled, or none of them actually kneeled at all during the national anthem, I think they could carry Utah. I think that was a prominent issue there. And then we go down to the South, however, I think with spiked African-American turnout for the Eagles, I think Georgia would go to the Eagles along with North Carolina. However, I think South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky would hold on to their Republican identity. Going over to Oklahoma, I think that the Patriots would be able to carry Oklahoma by a narrow margin. I think it would be razor thin. And Arizona and New Mexico and Colorado, all states that I think the Patriots would be able to win. And we go up to Nevada, where I think that Tom Brady would have more of a Latino appeal, and assuming that he's the front-runner candidate for the Patriots, I think that they would win there. Going over to Alaska, though, the only people that can get to Alaska are really Eagles, because obviously they fly, and the only way to get to Alaska is flying, because you're not going to drive all the way through Canada and get stuck in maple syrup or something, because you know that's not how it's supposed to go. So we're going to give that one to the Eagles because you don't get stuck in maple syrup in the air. But then we go down to Florida, and the Patriots would be able to carry the state of Florida by a narrow margin and ultimately win their electoral votes. And then we're going to go over to Missouri. That's a state that I think the Eagles would have a possibility at winning. And ultimately, I think that the Eagles would make inroads in the state of Missouri, going up and down Abe Lincoln, being able to win there. Arkansas, another state that I think the Eagles would be able to win by a narrow margin. And Louisiana, another state that I think the Eagles would definitely have an appeal to Southern voters. and the true toss-up state of Hawaii, you know that they're probably not going to tune into the Super Bowl because they're so far ahead. It'll be like 7 a.m. coffee when the Super Bowl is going on. So therefore, it's a true bellwether state. We're going to see how it turns out. But then there was one mistake that I made. I forgot that Nebraska's 2nd district pretty much was a state that it voted for Barack Obama in 2008, again with the spiked African-American turnout. I think that the Eagles will be able to carry 1 electoral vote, and since Hawaii's pretty behind and the Patriots are on the other side of the country, they obviously would be able to see the New England states first, and I think they would go for the Patriots, and therefore this is the final electoral map. 269 electoral votes for the Philadelphia Eagles to 269 for the New England Patriots. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.